So American singer Chris Brown was recently booked to perform at the AMAs. And he was doing his regular rehearsals, coming up with his moves. The dancers were in training, because this particular performance was, to be dedicated to Michael Jackson, the 45th anniversary of Thriller. And Chris Brown was looking forward to his performance, and without warning, he was pulled from the show. And many persons are wondering why was Chris Brown pulled from the show, because this guy, sure, he met into some problems, many years ago with Rihanna, but he paid the price for his actions, his career has never been the same since, but he still remains, on top of the food chain when it comes to R&B, and is easily the best singer slash performer for this era. So persons were understandably upset that he was pulled from the show. And what I wanted to see was, instead of just tweeting, and venting on social media, I wanted to see fans of Chris Brown and members of the music industry pull their performances, refuse to collect awards at the AMAs, in support and in solidarity for Chris Brown, but nobody did that. They still turned up to the shows and still went to collect awards and still performed well the other artists that were booked. And this is the problem that we face as the black community, because you see, the first point is that we have no ownership. So we can't pull sponsorship or anything like that, but we have talent as a resource, and we also have buying power as a resource. So in order to flex our arm, what we have to do is to stop giving out our talent, restricting ourselves from them, from their benefit, in order to basically leverage our own success. What we also have to do is to try to own, in order to be able to be in a position where we can pull things, just like the way Nike and Adidas pull their sponsorship from artists and athletes at will if they feel like we violated their terms or whatever. We should be able to pull something to say, hey, I am not going to do this because you did not hold up your end of the bargain. You did something which basically affected my people. And these very artists that have made millions of dollars from entertainment, it is time for you to wake up and realize that the money that you're wasting on bullshit chains, bullshit cars in the strip club, you can be using it to create things of your own, create your own brands, create things which you have leverage over other people with, and use them to your advantage. And if you are not the one to benefit, of course, that the generation which is coming after you will benefit, So you guys are the young millionaires, and some of you are even billionaires. So you are the ones that should be advocating for the change and putting things in place to set forth a new precedence where we own things, But first, we have to get out of the mindset of wasting money on bullshit and trying to brag, and to prove that we are richer than the next black man. That is something that we definitely have to look into. As it relates to Michael Jackson's celebration, it's very sad that it did not go through. Unfortunate. Nobody knows why Chris Brown was pulled from the show. AMA only released a shabby statement, if you ask me, and basically said that they had a change of plans, at the last minute. But this may be something from the Me Too community, who have been targeting men since they were created, or even somebody behind the scenes, like, for example, a Jay-Z who clearly doesn't like Chris Brown, or who hasn't forgiven Chris Brown for the whole Rihanna saga, It could be anything from that angle, and it's a pity that Chris Brown apparently won't ever meet the levels of success that he was destined to meet, because of one silly mistake. And that is why men whenever a woman acts out, do not react negatively. Do not allow a woman to pull you out of your character. You know what I mean? Sometimes women are the first things to hit a male, you know what I mean, to punch a male, grabbing on one's balls and so forth, you know what I mean. And then when the male reacts in a negative manner in self-defense, it's not going to come out as self-defense in the media. It is going to come out that you beat that woman, you know what I mean. And so I would advise you, like, if you're a male that is being attacked by a woman, you absorb the hits, you know what I mean, defend yourself by holding up your hands, you know what I mean, and then you call the police and make a report so that they can know that you were the one that was being harmed. Do not take the egotistical approach and be like, oh, I'm a man, you know what I mean, I can manhandle this woman, I can beat her. Do not do that. Take the hits and then file a police report, you know what I mean, because in the event that you hit this woman and a police is called into the mix, especially if you're residing in the United States, you will be held accountable. You will lose everything while this woman goes unscathed. So you have to know how to react in these situations. As you can see with that Boston Celtics coach who had sex with a female staff member, even though the female's name has not been mentioned. However, he, lost his job, you know what I mean, and faced much public scrutiny. While until this day, nobody knows who was that woman that he had sex with. It has been kept a secret. I'm out.